A new proposal receives praise in a meeting, but later it quietly dies in approvals and polite silence. The initial enthusiasm wanes as the proposal faces bureaucratic hurdles. Stakeholders become reluctant to champion a proposal that might fail. Silence becomes the default response as the proposal is overlooked. Meetings continue without addressing the proposal, reinforcing its neglect. Gradually, the proposal is forgotten, buried under other priorities. Those who initially supported it become cautious about future initiatives. The cycle of praise in meetings and silence in approvals repeats with other proposals. The culture of the organisation begins to favour inaction over risk. The proposal's fate serves as a cautionary tale for future innovations. A risk portfolio involves taking a significant gamble in one area while maintaining stability in another. The mechanism is straightforward. Security in one realm reduces pressure and frees judgment when the creative bet becomes challenging. When everything is risky at once, fear often drives people to release half-tested work or abandon the project prematurely. With stability in place, patience improves, and the work can be refined until it gains real adoption and proof. A new musician can maintain consulting by day and perform at night, using income to avoid desperate career changes. An online marketplace can start as a hobby alongside programming work, only replacing the job later when demand grows. This approach demonstrates that originality is not reckless but disciplined risk management paired with genuine experimentation. By securing financial and social bases, people can challenge defaults without risking their entire reputation on one venture. Choose one domain where you can afford extreme caution, such as savings, time commitments, or a reliable supportive role. Then place the bold bet where the upside is high, treating stability as the platform that makes courage sustainable. Quantity beats perfection because a larger pool of options increases the odds of finding something truly original. The mechanism is that early ideas mirror defaults, while later ideas become novel only after obvious answers are exhausted. When you generate only a few ideas, you commit too soon and invest heavily in a direction that is ordinary. When you generate many, you can compare, test, and discard quickly, which protects effort for the best candidate. A media team wrote many headlines for the same video, and a later headline produced far more views. Their rule required at least 25 headline drafts, which forced the group past the first conventional phrases. The same pattern applies to products, speeches, and social movements as novelty emerges after repetition breaks the mold. Originality improves when feedback is collected early, since creators are often too close to judge their own work. Set a quota for ideas before evaluating, and separate generating from judging, so the first phase stays expansive. Then test the top options with peers and your audience, saving only those that earn clear praise or adoption. Strategic procrastination involves delaying progress on purpose while keeping the task active in your mind. Incubation is the mechanism, as time away from execution encourages divergent thinking and prevents locking onto one early plan. Acting first can look impressive, but first movers often face higher uncertainty, more mistakes, and heavier resistance. Waiting can reduce risk by allowing others to reveal demand, improve technology, or absorb the early costs of education. College students asked to fill a vacant lot proposed another convenience store when they started immediately, illustrating the risk of acting too quickly. Students assigned to delay and play simple computer games produced more novel plans and were rated markedly more creative. This timing idea supports originality, because the best deviation from defaults often appears after your first impulse fades. The goal is not laziness, but choosing a pace that improves ideas before they become public commitments. Start early enough to define the problem, then pause briefly and return later to compare options with fresh eyes. If you want more research-backed tactics for timing, creativity, and risk, then subscribe and use them to ship better ideas. A tempered radical holds unconventional values, but presents them in ways that mainstream audiences can accept. By shifting from shock to appeal, the mechanism adjusts framing and request without abandoning the underlying goal. Coalitions are powerful but unstable, as relationships can fracture even when everyone claims the same cause. A Goldilocks message is ideal. Too radical scares allies away, while too mild fails to energize people to join. A change agent can open with a modest request that solves a visible problem, reducing immediate resistance. Starting with a small request, the foot in the door technique involves asking for a bigger change after commitment. Coalition logic keeps originality moving forward, as acceptance often depends on familiarity as much as merit. This approach also prevents infighting among similar groups, where small differences can trigger hostility and destroy shared progress. When resistance rises, explain how a proposal works, as focusing on how it exposes gaps and moderates extreme positions. Then craft a first step that wins a small commitment, using that credibility to recruit a broader alliance. Authentic dissent stems from sincere belief, not a role assigned to create the appearance of debate. Credibility is the key. When people sense conviction, they take dissent seriously, which pressures everyone to think harder. Assigned devil's advocates may reduce visible bias, but groups still cling to their original preference through confirmation bias. Real dissent generates more solutions and higher quality thinking, and it does not automatically create more anger. In a decision exercise, managers favoured one country and chose to read more articles supporting their initial choice. When a teammate genuinely preferred the other option, groups read more counter-evidence and became less confident. Speaking up works better when the audience values originality, as they care more about improvement than defending tradition. Disagreeable managers often handle conflict better than agreeable ones, as their skepticism can sharpen a proposal before escalation. Defensive pessimism involves imagining what can go wrong and preparing responses, which can improve accuracy under pressure. Before raising a challenge, plan your emotions and bring solutions, as steady delivery makes it safer for others to listen. Originality is about improving the world by questioning defaults, not just being rebellious for show. New ideas work best when paired with smart risk management, credible testing, and careful social strategy. Balancing a risk portfolio creates stability, generating many ideas raises quality, and strategic procrastination improves creativity. Coalitions form through tempered messaging. Dissent works when it is authentic, and emotion regulation keeps the voice effective. Over time, these moves produce better decisions by filtering out bad ideas and allowing good ideas to survive early criticism. They also build a culture where improvement becomes normal, as people feel safe to question habits and propose alternatives. Start by identifying one default you follow, then ask who benefits, who pays the cost, and what could be changed. Next, generate 10 alternatives, choose one small pilot, and protect the effort with a stability plan in another domain. When a few people take responsibility for better options, the status quo stops looking inevitable and starts looking editable. To get more research-based tools for choosing ideas, voicing dissent, and building coalitions, subscribe and keep practicing with each new challenge.